over the next 30, 40 years, the urban population of Africa is set to triple. And so cities are seen as areas of crucial importance for looking at both the possibilities but also the problems facing African societies today. Looking at how two African cities in particular, Rabat and Cape Town, have reprojected themselves on the global and regional stage in the last 2 decades as important players in urban economies, but also very much in the area of cultural politics. So I'm particularly interested in looking at how cultural diversity politics plays out at the urban scale, how the state and elite actors play and acknowledge different aspects of diversity, both internal diversity within the nation and also new forms of diversity as a result of urban migration. So for instance, in the case of Rabat, over the last 20 years, as the national capital, there's been a push to acknowledge the Berber community within Morocco, and Rabat, more than any other city, has actually started to, as a result of the official recognition of Morocco being a multicultural society, it is the city that has actually experimented with inscribing this aspect into the built environment, looking at how this aspect of cultural diversity has been incorporated into the local politics of the city and is being used to portray Rabat as a different type of capital city, reflecting a different kind of nationalism as well, a nationalism, a new post-Arab nationalism that is presumably more comfortable with being a multicultural society. At the same time, Rabat is one of the key destinations of migration, sub-Saharan African migration to Morocco. It's primarily Casablanca and Rabat, and Rabat, as it is the capital city, also has a lot of migrant organisations and migrant rights organisations opening up in the city, and this has been a process that has taken place over the last 10, 15 years. In the case of South Africa, I'm particularly interested in looking at the way in which different cultural institutions are dealing with the issue of diversity, and at a very general level one could identify 2 key types of cultural institutions within the city, the post-apartheid cultural institution, for instance Robben Island, or the famous District 6 museum, which deals with the memory of apartheid, so looking at how difference was very much removed or at least segregated under the apartheid regime, and then a new set of cultural institutions that have opened in the last 5 years, which are celebrating contemporary African art and which are trying to project Cape Town as a key player in the contemporary African art market. And it's interesting that these new museums, including the Zeitz Mocha Museum, which is the largest museum to open in Africa for 100 years, actually has very little to say about apartheid. It's talking about diversity in a very different post-apartheid context.